Hello, in this video, we'll talk about scales. What is a scale? Well, the word comes from the Latin word meaning ladder. So we can imagine a scale in music means an order sequence of notes. Here is the example of C major scale. There are 7 notes from C, and then we go up with line, space, and so forth, and make D, E, F, G, A, B. Then we go back to C but an octave higher. We can also go down in the reverse order. There are different types of scales. Besides major scale that we mentioned, there are minor, chromatic, whole tone scale, pentatonic, and blues, etc. In this video, we will focus on major and minor, see how we build the scales and how they sound. Go back to C major scale. We start with C, going up to the C an octave higher. We can also go another direction and down to the C an octave lower. The C is exactly the same note, even though one is on the first under ledger line in treble clef and the other is on the first upper line in bass clef. If I merge the ledger line, the C is actually here, and we call it middle C. When we refer the notes on the keyboard, the C is always on the left white key of the 2 black key group. Here are the letter names of all white keys. Yes, these are letter names. They won't change no matter what key it is. And we have technical names. They indicate what degree of the scale. The first note of a scale is called tonic. The 5th note is very dominating in a scale too, and it is called dominant. 1 degree higher than tonic is supertonic. 1 degree lower than dominant is subdominant. A 3rd up the tonic is mediant, while a 3rd down the tonic, which means a 6th degree, is submediant. The 7th degree has a strong tendency to lead to tonic. It is called leading note. As we mentioned in the previous video, major scale is made up of the intervals ho, semitone, ho, semitone. If you have any question about the whole tone and semitone, you can refer to Music Theory 1 interval. You can find the link in the description. This pattern is symmetrical, consisting of 2 ho semitones, which are called tetrachords. The 2 tetrachords are connected with 1 whole tone. Let's listen to the sound of tetrachord. Now, let's try to build a G major scale. Let's write 8 notes from G to G without any accidentals first. If you still find the ho semitone, ho semitone too clumsy, I would suggest you simply remembering for the consecutive notes, the intervals are whole tone, except for the 3rd to 4th and 7th to 8th. They are semitones. So we start with G, 1, 2, 3 to 4 at the semitone, and then 5, 6, 6 to 7 is whole tone. That means the 7th note has to go up. 7 to 8 is semitone. So the 7th note is F sharp. We then put the sharp before the note. Listen to the scale. Let's try F major. I'll write 8 notes from F to F and see if we need to make any modification. 1, 2, 3. 3 to 4 is semitone. And then 5 to 6 is whole tone. and then 6, 7, and 8 semitone. Look, the fourth note become B flat, so I put a flat on the fourth note, B. Let's listen to the scale. Now, you can pause the video and try out D major, and then we can check the answer together. Similarly, and we'll find the third and seventh notes are going up to the black keys F sharp and C sharp. So I add the sharps before these two notes. Listen to it. You can also try out this major scale as an exercise too. Now, let's move on to minor scale. Minor is more complicated. You can imagine a minor scale is quite the same as its relative major, but it starts with the 6th degree instead of the 1st degree. So in minor, we will start with number 6 instead. There are 3 types of minor. Natural minor means starting with 6, going up to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6. And same as major scale, all consecutive notes are a whole tone apart, except 7 to 8, or we can say 7 to 1, and 3 to 4 are semitones. Here is a little note for you. Instead of 1 as tonic, 2 as supertonic, etc., now we have 6 as tonic, 7 as supertonic. Let's listen to the natural minor scale. Harmonic minor is very much like natural minor, but the 5th is raised up a semitone. The reason behind is that we want to make the leading note just semitone apart to tonic, so that our ears will expect the leading note leading back to tonic. And then 4 to 5 will become 1.5 whole tone. Listen to it. Melodic minor is quite complicated. When it is ascending, the 4th and the 5th are raised up a semitone. But when it is descending, the 4th and the 5th will go back to normal. That means, when going up, the interval between the 3rd and 4th becomes a whole tone, 4th and 5th is also a whole tone, and 5th to 6th is a semitone. When going down, 6th and 5th going back to a whole tone, 5th and 4th is also a whole tone, and then 4th to 3rd is a semitone. Let's listen to it. Okay, to make things simpler, I will only focus on those semitones and I have marked them down. They are from 7th to 1st, 3rd to 4th, raised 5th to 6th in harmonic minor and melodic ascending minor. Melodic ascending minor will raise the 4th as well, just to avoid the 1.5 whole tone between the 4th and 5th. Now, let's try C harmonic minor. Here is the pattern, and I draw 8 notes from C up to C with the semitones marked. Now, I need to find out if there are any sharps or flats on the notes. We should be very familiar with whole tones and semitones now. 4th to 5th is 1.5 whole tone, that is 3 semitones. So we have flats on number 1 and number 4. How about E melodic minor? The pattern is rather long, but here we go. Similarly, we have all the notes first. Then we can check if there are any sharps and flats. This is ascending. We have F sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. Then, when it is descending, 5th and 4th are whole tone. So, D sharp will go back to D natural. C sharp will go back to C natural. Also, 4th and 3rd becomes semitone now. So, we put a natural sign on D, also on C. No change for F sharp, but since this sharp will still valid to all Fs in the same bar, we don't need to add another accidental. It sounds very nice, right? As an exercise, you may also try out all these minor scales and make sure you are familiar with the interval pattern of major and minor scales. In next video, we'll base on these scales and talk more about keys. See you in next video. Goodbye!